I'd like to welcome everyone this afternoon to the Friends of Hazelmere Campbell Valley's third community meeting. We were here a little over a month ago, and before that at the Arosha site up the road. My name's David Anderson. I'm the director of the Arosha's Brookesdale Environmental Centre, just up the road on 192nd and 16th. And I'm subbing today for Brian Coote, the chair of Friends of Hazelmere Campbell Valley. Brian is awaiting shoulder surgery in January and re-injured it just the other day. So he is on a lot of pain medication. So that's why I'm up here. I want to thank you for taking a couple of hours out of Sunday this close to Christmas. It's no small thing. We appreciate your presence here, each and every one. And it's an indication of your interest and concern in this proposal, the application. Special thanks to those from municipal or provincial government and staff for your time on a Sunday. And also a big thanks to the Semiahmoo Fish and Game Club for hosting at this great facility. It's fantastic to be on the Little Campbell River when we're talking about something that substantively impacts the Little Campbell River. We have a great lineup of speakers today, some amazing content, speaking on a variety of topics that are all directly related to the truck application. In the interest of staying on time, each is going to present in sort of the 10 to 15 minute window, 15, and then we're going to pause at the end of each speaker and we'll take 2 questions from us, from the floor. Just for the interest of time. There'll be lots more questions, I'm sure. And I'm going to encourage folks, if you have questions, write them down, make a note, put them in your phone, and please engage with the speakers after the meeting wraps up. And I want to thank them ahead of time for their generous offering of time and expertise in being here today. So we're going to hear the order of speakers. We're going to hear from Bob Donnelly, who's immediately to my left first. Bob's the president of the Semiahmoo Fish and Game Club with a wealth of experience and expertise on the river. We're going to hear from David Clausen. He's been involved in the trucking industry for a long time and comes with a great perspective from that industry and from the opportunities and challenges facing folks working as truckers. We're going to hear from Kevin Mitchell, who's an engineer who's been looking at and studying and interacting in land use planning around traffic in South Langley and along the 16th corridor for some time. Grant Rice has been involved with land use planning and agriculture in Surrey for a long time. He's passionate about the subject, and we're going to hear from him. Jim Armstrong is a scientist that has been working for 20 years in the Boundary Bay watershed. So he's going to be talking about stormwater management and water quality and water management, and comes with just a real rich history in the area. And then John Waring is going to close our time today. John's a senior science and policy advisor. He's a biologist and works with the David Suzuki Foundation, and we're very grateful for his presence here today as well. Just before we hear from our speakers, I'd like to quickly recap the proposal just so that we're all on the same page. There's been a tremendous amount of information and misinformation and confusion out in the public and in government and in a variety of our groups. So let me just quickly recap. An application went into Surrey City last summer to rezone 4 properties totaling 77 acres that are immediately east of the Hazelmere Cemetery. That's probably the best reference point on 16th Avenue there, right on the intersection of 192 and 16th Avenue. The Little Campbell River runs right through the site, and the rezoning application is to take it out of general agricultural A1 and into industrial for the purpose of developing a heavy truck parking and servicing complex. The application is also to amend Surrey's official community plan, the OCP, because that area Hazelmere is designated as rural agricultural. The properties sit within, in fact, they're central, within a 600-acre area made up of a whole bunch of properties that are all zoned general agricultural A1, that the city for the planning purposes, is calling South Campbell Heights Special Study Area, but which we know, the general public knows mostly is just North Hazelmere. Right? So this is a big area from 20th down to about 12th, and 196th down to about just shy of 184th, but 186th or so, if there was a road there. The city began a local area plan, LAP, this is like a neighborhood concept plan for this area in 2014, because they're receiving more applications from properties that exist within that area. City staff hasn't known exactly how to process those applications because there isn't a plan for that area. How do you make decisions about rezoning when there isn't a comprehensive plan for how that area is to be developed in decades ahead? So that process has begun and is scheduled to be finished in 2017. This past September, Surrey Council voted to exempt this application from being from waiting till the end of that local area plan process. And the rationale given was to address the urgent need for heavy truck parking, industrial truck parking that exists in Surrey. The challenge is it's becoming increasingly clear that the proposed facility isn't going to address the Surrey truck parking problem in any significant way at all, if it does at all. The vast majority of trucks that are needed to be parked exist in Newton, Fleetwood, and along the Fraser River, where incidentally there's fantastic infrastructure to handle that level of industry. The business plan for the project, as it concerns Surrey trucks, just doesn't add up. Those that are involved in the industry, those that are involved in business, take a look and the numbers just don't add up. And talks since September with stakeholders within the Friends of Hazelmere Campbell Valley group, directly with the applicants, GG Metro Holdings, and with Councillor Tom Gill, who is the chair of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee at Surrey, have revealed that the main intent is to capture major north-south flowing international truck transportation. The plan at the city right now, sort of the concept plan that went in with the application, is there's parking for up to 1,200 trucks on those 77 acres. This is about 30 football fields is the size of the site. The applicant has described a vision and a concept that involves warehousing with well over 1 million square feet of space, security, fencing, restaurant services, servicing for all manner of truck transport, and presumably, just following sort of common sense and logic, some type of hotel-motel complex if you're interacting with international drivers that are stopping for extended periods of time in a servicing facility. So this is when we started calling this sort of the industrial truck city. It is most certainly not a small parking lot for Surrey trucks. So just to dispel that, because that's one of the things kind of floating around out there. The challenge is that none of this information, these discussions with the applicants and with some of the Surrey councillors, is actually in at the planning department at Surrey. So it's not official in that sense. And so Surrey councillors are correctly pointing out that they don't have a lot of information to go on as the public's interacting with them and voicing concerns and comments. The city staff have made clear to the applicant that the information that they provided is inadequate, but they haven't heard back yet. As word has spread, concern across multiple communities and multiple municipalities has grown with this news. And a whole cross-section of stakeholders and concerned citizens have come forward. And this is how Friends of Hazelmere Campbell Valley was born back in September. To represent the Hazelmere area, which is hugely underrepresented at Surrey City Hall, to engage in land use issues in this region and area, to protect the environment. And I'm very pleased to say that the Friends of Hazelmere Campbell Valley is not a small, niche, special interest group. We are a body that is made up of a very diverse cross-section of just the folks that live from White Rock through South Surrey, through South Langley, and on into Abbotsford. Folks are concerned, and validly so. We are made up of farmers, business owners, homemakers, people that own and run care facilities that are adjacent to the proposal, bankers, people that love the river. Yeah, it's representative of a wide group, and I take heart in that. And it's representative of a wide group in large part because the Little Campbell River, the Brookswood Aquifer and other aquifers, forests, biodiversity, as well as traffic and roads don't stop at municipal borders. This isn't a Surrey issue. It's an issue that spans, it's in Surrey, but it spans across, and folks are clearly communicating that. So that's where we're at right now. And the meeting here today is to inform and educate people as to some of the ramifications of the application, to answer questions, to seek clarity, and to continue mobilizing people to make our voices heard at Surrey City Hall and in the Langley Township.